It's one of the top 5 common problems in marriages, and of course, our friend Kevin Leman decided to delve right in. The newest addition to his By Friday series is this book, Have a New Sex Life by Friday. In it, New York Times bestselling author, psychologist, radio and television personality, and speaker Kevin Leman gives some advice on how every married couple can spice up their relationship and find the love you might have lost. Welcome back, Dr. Leman.
It's always good to be here. Thanks for having me. Yep, sex again, one more time.
One more time.
It's a great topic, but we all want to talk about it at times.
Yeah,
so.
my wife is so pleased I wrote this book. Just trying to get her to read it.
Has she read it?
I said, honey, you ought to read it. You're the star on several pages.
Oh.
You know, one of the things I wanted to ask you, what are some of the signs? What can somebody look for to say, hey, my marriage is getting stale. I'm not really sure what to do.
Well, you know, because you talk about everything but self and relationship. You talk about kids. One of the things we've done terribly wrong in our societies is we brought kids up to feel like they're the center of the universe, okay? And by the way, as a sidebar to the conversation, if you bring up a kid to feel like it's the center of the universe, where's the room for Almighty God in a kid's life? I can answer that, and I'm not that smart. There's no room for God. So we focus on kids. We have careers, people are busy, and like passing ships in the night, we lose touch with each other. And whenever you talk about sex, you need to be talking about communication, because without that spark of communication, there's not going to be a good sex. And sex is tough. I mean, I think God created sex to be difficult, not so difficult for us men, Kevin, but for women. I mean, those poor women, they got hills to climb, valleys to get through, mountains to get over. I mean, it's a lot of work. You know, a man, the way God created a man can get frisky, so to speak, in 1.7 seconds or less, where a woman is more like a crock pot. It might take a long time. And all these things have to fall in line for this woman to enjoy this wonderful gift of sex that God gives us.
And you remind us that, you know, this is a gift given to married couples, sexual intimacy. Let's talk about some of the points that you think women are top needs that women have. So number 1, affection. Number 2, communication. Number 3, commitment.
Yeah, commitment to the family. Yeah. Well, let's start with affection. I mean, Kevin, it's like I want to talk to you here for a second, even though Maggie's asking the question. Women are weird, okay?
Hey.
Right?
And they specialize in relationships. They love relationships. They love to share. They love to communicate. They hug anything that's around. Men specialize in arm's length relationships, okay? Now, again, I think God made it that way because He's sort of saying, you got to work hard on this thing. It's hard to understand a woman. A woman will say, do you want to stop for ice cream? Now, Kevin, this is not an IQ test, but what is she saying? Do you want to stop for ice cream?
She's saying more than that.
Yeah. She's not asking a question, okay? And so,
She's saying she wants to get some ice cream.
That's right. But see, honey, do you want to stop for ice cream? And I learned that once. I said, we're driving home. I said, no. 15 seconds later, tears streaming down her face. I said,
I so wanted ice cream.
What is wrong with you? So affection, it's that little stuff. It's writing your wife a little shoebox card, putting it in the mail, let it come to the house. It's bringing her that single rose. It's using your cell phone when you're in the store. Say, honey, is there anything you need me to bring home? You know, because I think women every day ask us, do you really love me? Do you really care? And so affection is huge. And it's sort of fun. I speak in churches and all across the U.S. and Canada. I love to ask the question, how many of you women would love a back rub or a foot rub tonight? And I would say, men, make a note. If that's your wife, make a note. Now, if Mrs. Uppington, my bride, I call her Mrs. Uppington because she's the classy firstborn of the two of us, and look at me. If she was in the audience, you wouldn't see her hand in the air. Why? To quote her, I don't like being rubbed. Scratch me. She loves to be scratched. So I've learned to scratch her like this, scratch her like this. She loves her hand scratched. Our job as men is to figure out who this woman is, and they're all different. Keep in mind they're weird, but men are strange. So,
Weird and strange.
Oh, now you're strange.
Right.
Well, that's good.
So-
We at least have a name. That's good.
so here's a man watching 2 ball games simultaneously in his boxer shorts, eating pizza, belching. Yes, ladies, this is your gift from God. And I just think there's humor in how God created us. So affection is huge with women. Communication is huge with women. Now we have 2 Kevins on set.
Yeah.
By our nature, what are we not good at? Number 1, affection. And by the way, grabbing is not affection. Roar! I never heard a woman say, I love my husband grab me. Okay? And then communication. We're not great at, you women are the communicators. So again, I think we're designed in such a way we have to really work at getting behind each other's eyes. And then commitment to the family. How many women love it when their husband takes over with the kids or just shows genuine affection and is a good dad? That makes a woman purr. This is a woman that wants to be close to this man. And so that's a message that resonates and have a sex life by Friday. And I admit I got hung up on Friday. I wrote Friday everything. Have a new kid by Friday, have a new husband by Friday.
I loved what you said, though. You,
Yeah.
you said a smart husband not only listens to the wife's words, but looks into her eyes and watches body language. We need to figure out what they're actually saying when they're saying something.
Oh, Kevin, one more thing I have to share with you. Women lie like dogs. They lie like dogs. You know, they don't mean to lie like dogs, but they do.
Should I leave right now?
No,
That's
don't
a
leave, don't
bonding
leave. No,
moment?
I just want you to see that it's
Steve,
coming
listen
from
to this.
an affectionate heart. But my wife is so stereotypical of so many women. I have 4 daughters and 1 son. 3 of my daughters love to shop. They're shoppers. They can shop for a weekend. I have 1 daughter who's a bagger. She goes in, knows what she wants, bags it. But when my wife goes shopping, we live in Tucson, Arizona. About 115 miles, I don't know what that is in kilometers, is Scottsdale, Arizona, north of us. She shops in Scottsdale. Conveniently located, just a 2-hour drive.
There's probably better shopping there.
But when she goes up there, she spends the night, takes our daughter or her girlfriend. I always ask the question, honey, what time are you going to be home? Oh, honey, we'll be home early. We'll be home early. Honey, just give me a time. I just want to know, am I batching it? Am I having dinner? No, honey, I told you we'll be home early. Give me a time. I'll be home at 5 o'clock. What I've learned, and this goes back to knowing who you married, this woman. I've learned, I invented a formula for her. I add 5 hours to it. And when she comes home at 10 to 10, I'm not sitting there like a jerk saying, hey, where you been? I've been sitting here waiting for you for 5 hours. I say, honey, did you have a good time? Oh, I had a great time. There's some stuff in the SUV. Would you help me bring it in? I'd be glad to. And then I go to the bedroom and pray for sex. There, you heard it. That's the truth.
The book is called Have a New Sex Life by Friday by Dr. Kevin Leman. It's always interesting with you, Dr. Leman. Thank you.
Would you define that for me, Kevin? Interesting.
That's another word we're going to have to figure that out.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.